One of the biggest stories in this offseason is the return of Robert Anae as BYU's offensive coordinator, who's back after 2 years at Arizona, and we welcome him here to BYU TV. Isn't that interesting that you're one of the biggest offseason stories?
Yes, that is. You guys are desperate for news, but you know, I'm very excited to be back and looking forward to some amazing things.
How different of a coach do you think you are after the 2 years at Arizona?
Well, I was just talking in the other room to Brett. Any coach that if you were to say, hey, could you take a 2-year hiatus and coach with any staff in the country that you'd like to learn and develop, I think a bunch of them would probably say Rich Rodriguez and Mike Stoops. And that's exactly what I was fortunate to be able to do. And no doubt that growth and development was huge.
You got a taste of running, and you got a taste of Rich Rodriguez throwing it all over the place. And as you come back to your core and also back to BYU, what bits and pieces do you bring in that we might see this fall?
Well, I think it's just more confirmation of stuff I know. And everybody knows this about football. If you got a good quarterback, that's a good starting point. And at Arizona, we led the Pac-12, and we were almost top 5 throwing the football with Nick Foles. And, man, we did some really good things throwing the football. And then the following year with Rich Rodriguez, Matt Scott, our quarterback, was a second-team all-conference quarterback in the Pac-12 and did some amazing things. We were at the top of the conference listings with points scored and total yardage, and a lot of that had to do with throwing the football. And, you know, you look on the rush yardage, and we're pretty high there as well.
Ross Oppo was here on True Blue on Monday, and he said about Coach Anae, he said, well, he came in, he yelled at us in the weight room, and he also made it perfectly clear that if we don't do it, he will find someone who will. And is that what it takes almost to get a kid's attention to go, hey, I have some expectations, and I want to see it executed?
You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I think your best teams are the ones that buy in with all they've got. And there's no better way to discover that with going fast and going hard. And if you're not going to go fast and go hard, then you're just not ready to hit the field just yet. So as a coach, that's going to be my deal, to be able to look at that and say, first and foremost, we're looking for guys that can build the team culture. And that's how it's going to be described. Go fast and go hard.
Spring drills, as you get back settled in, what will you look to establish besides that attitude as far as a strategy?
Well, keep it simple, because if you go fast, you cannot have a multiple formation arrangement. You cannot have shifts and motions and movements. You pretty much got to line up and go. And for your quarterback to be able to keep up with that, he's got to see how the D's adjusting as well. So, yeah, just line up and go. Not a lot of fancy ideas that way, just simple and fast and hard.
Conservative is sometimes the best way.
Well, I don't know if I want to use conservative, because we're going to be throwing that ball all over the place. And so I guess depends on what you mean by conservative. No, it's not just going to be 3 yards in a pile of dust, even though that's a good starting point.
Yep.
Well, if I can get 3 yards on first down, that's a great starting point.
If you look at what BYU has done since you left, and now you come back, do you sense that it's you got talented guys in all the spots? Is it just, hey, look, settle down, let's come with a plan and execute the small and simple things?
No, settle down is not a good word for me.
Right.
It's go fast. Line up quick. Let's snap the ball and play hard and go fast. So not a settle down, just go fast, go hard. And it's not going to be, we're not going to throw a lot this spring at the guys. If we can go 12 plays really fast and really hard, that'll be a nice little starting point. And I know it's hard to say, 12 plays, man, you're crazy. But if the guys know that like the back of their hands, that's the starting point. So
And if 10 of them work, run them again.
I mean, how many guys go into a game and 12 plays actually really, if you go 10 yards a play, that's your average. Well, why would you run something else? Just keep doing that. You'll be wildly successful.
You were successful here in your previous spot, but it's different now. You have a heavy hand in naming your own staff, which you didn't have last time. You get to surround yourself with people who think like you, which you didn't have the last time. Does that give you the liberty to take this to where you think it can go?
Well, there's a few notions there that I'm not comfortable with. I had every bit of hand in the last staff that I was here with. I did feel that, sometimes it just ran a course.
Right.
And boy, we did some wildly successful things, and that was a tribute to the men I was working with. This go round, yeah, I think also we're going to have an opportunity to do things our own little way with our own little twist in it. It will be exciting.
One thing Max Hall and John Beck had was a strong offensive line, and Bronco just rolled out the recruiting class. Went and signed 8 more guys to come in to help out. Is that priority number 1 for you with the offense?
Well, I'm biased. That's the position on the football field that I am most comfortable coaching, and looking forward to the opportunity to really go with that group.
Coach Mendenhall said the Utes came after you, tried to sign you in their recruiting class this last spring, and
Wow.
he had mentioned that he was grateful that you were one of his big signees.
Truth be known, there were about 6 schools that came after me. I don't know what they're thinking, but I'd gone down a road with Coach Mendenhall as we were beginning, and just felt at that point I did not go down the road deep enough with other schools that had I changed midstream, I felt I'd be going back on, because really you're a guy of your word. Without that, who are you? So I'd gone down the road far enough with Bronco that with all the other schools, I just felt it wasn't right at the time. So I'm here.
You look at your running back, Jamal Williams, outstanding sophomore to be, and then you got Hoffman and Oppo and Foslev, and then some of those big tight end bodies. Fix up that offensive line. You got to break in a new quarterback. Taysom Hill's had a little experience, and Ammon Olsen, but that's a lot to work with as you head out. You feel pretty good about what you got?
Well, I'll know more after the first day of spring, because when we roll out the overall idea of the offense, the guys will go, wow, man, I'm really all about this. Or some may say, man, I don't want anything to do with that. I hope that the guys take ownership of the brand of offense, and I'd like that brand to characterize BYU football. And it's not coming from me. BYU football has a brand, and it's a national brand. My hope is that we live up to that.
If you have a brand, as I've come to understand it, it's protect the ball, execute on third down, maybe have the quarterback stay in the pocket. What would define what we might see next fall?
Secure the football and blocking. To me, it's fundamentals. The 2 most important fundamentals of football is ball security and blocking. If we do that at a high level, the brand should be, wow, 8 yards of play. Wow, 90-plus plays. Wow, 40-plus points. I mean, that's usually what happens when you secure the ball and you block. Great things happen. If you can do that and go fast and go hard, to me, the numbers, the statistics fall into place, and you just choose the ones you like and say, hey, there we are. The truth of the matter is fundamental football is usually what leads to outstanding results.
Well, you and I hung out together many moons ago when you were at UNLV, and it's good to have you back.
Great to see you, Dave.